So, Cammy, I think, is one of the characters that's very good when the opponent's in burnout. A number of reasons. Dive kicks, very easy to make them plus, or at least safe, in situations where you wouldn't be able to otherwise. You can do instant wake up EX and you're +2 on block. You get these are very easy to make them safer plus. Your knuckles all become plus on block. This one, heavy knuckle becomes plus enough that if you time it correctly, you can get a walk up throw that's frame tight. Like so. So, general loops, you can do this as a true block string, so they can't super between it. You can go into medium punch for +2, and a frame trap. Any of these buttons that you can do into frame traps with your knuckles. Like that. This is also, will trade with 4-framers, and generally speaking, most of the 4-framers in this game, if you trade with them with light knuckle, you can get, usually, I think, at least crouch medium punch. No, probably stand light kick for most of them. Yeah, +6, stand light kick. Beyond that, forward heavy kick, which I'm also going to make a video about soon. Forward heavy kick becomes 4 frames safer. Drive rush forward heavy kick, -4. No way they can punish it. EX knuckle, plus on block, etc. Also, she can do her hooligan mix-ups, and even if they block the overhead, it's still +2. Valuable. She can do her slides, and even the charge slide, which would normally only be +2, is +6, which means that she can go for a crouch fierce, and it'll trade with 4-framers. She can get a good conversion off of any trades with 4-framers. This is +5 on block. A lot of her buttons are very good in this state. She can do drive rush roundhouse, and she's usually in range for throw afterwards. I know it's one of those unexpected buttons, but yeah, drive rush roundhouse puts her in a good position at +4. The thing that a lot of Cammy players do, well, they do like jab, fierce, medium knuckle, jab, fierce, medium knuckle, over and over. That's fake. That's not like a true thing. There is a 6-frame gap between the jab and the fierce. That being said, you can mix this up. You can go into heavy knuckle per se instead if you don't think they're going to press in the medium knuckle. Off of stand light punch, you can generally get, you know, light kick or whatever. Cammy's lights into drive rush are normally pretty weak relative to the rest of the cast. There's much bigger gaps than a lot of other characters, but in drive rush, they become more solid. So yeah, pretty easy for her to skip neutral, get plus, steal frames, force situations. Now, the thing you need to know about burnout for every single character is that the burnout recovery that he's regenerating right now in the top of the screen. Obviously, when you make them block normals, they don't take any chip damage. It's only from specials and supers that they take chip damage from. But every single move in the entire fucking game gives them back a different amount of drive gauge on block or burnout recovery. So if you do a lot of heavy punches and heavy buttons, they recover their drive gauge incredibly quickly. Knuckle is a move that, while good in burnout, recovers their drive gauge much faster than other moves. So when you have the opportunity, like say off a forward throw in the corner, light spiral arrow is great. It will be +1 in their face, and it does more chip damage, and it gives them less drive gauge recovery than doing knuckle. It only does a little bit of... So that's how much recovery they get, versus if you did light knuckle, builds them back a bit more. The ones that do more chip damage for less drive gauge are dive kick, doesn't build them back very much, unlike knuckle, which builds them back huge chunks. Hooligan will give them back a lot. slide, and overhead if they block it. Of course, if you do heavy hooligan, this is mainly good against certain characters, like Lily, for example. Lily, pretty much most of her buttons are hit very low to the ground, so you only need heavy hooligan to go all the way over most of her buttons. So you can do this, get over most of her buttons, and this, even at point blank, will always be +2. So, off of a lot of set play situations. So, the trick is if you get like these setups, delay the DP as long as possible. So you do heavy DP like there, and then medium drill, and you'll get a perfect meaty setup. You'll do an extra 225 damage on chip, +4. Excellent. If you land just regular lights, you do medium DP. Medium drill, same situation. If you get any of those situations where like I said, normally if you can get like a meaty stand medium punch if you do that, but if you're further out and you get like a light kick and a drill, you can't. But if you're further out and you get light kick and a drill, you can then do meaty heavy drill, and you'll be +2. Heavy drill does 175 chip damage on block for the second hit of it. And it builds about that much drive gauge back. The medium one is better, but heavy can be pretty good too for these meaty setups and from really far away. For instance, anytime you land heavy DP as well, you can land another heavy drill. You can go into another heavy drill for the Oki. Extra chip damage. And the more specials and things that you can do as Cammy, like, okay, I'm going to do the fake thing now. If I put myself so that we're both empty, he will regenerate his recovery slightly faster than I will. So if I do this sequence, I'm going to put him to block all. Etc. All the actions that I'm doing regenerate me a lot of drive gauge, but they also regenerate him a lot of drive gauge. He will eventually recover slightly faster than I will. However, if you implement more things, if you find more opportunities to implement more of these things that build you back a significant amount of drive gauge, while not giving as much to the opponent, such as dive kicks, such as these drills, and any opportunity where you could do like a medium or a heavy, it's better to do a light, okay? If you do like a drive rush or whatever, at the opponent, drive rush light. Lights will not let him recover his gauge, okay? If you do heavies, he'll recover a big chunk. If you keep your pressure to lights and you do lights in situations where it's possible to use lights instead of mediums or heavies, do so. It helps you extend your pressure.